So I'm in Home Goods, and I'm like, why is everybody looking at me like a mice? So I'm like, God gets to my head and goes, well, look what you're wearing. I got my the off white, I guess they call it taupe or whatever it is, cargo khakis on. I got my thin blue line uh, fanny pack on. Oh, I guess they thought I was nice. But this is the point. Okay, so I'll stand up again for what's going on. Again, I wouldn't do it exactly as they are, but so you go into a you go into a store or you're looking for somebody, a detainee. There's two women in there that I would question right now if I was ICE. They're obviously they're obviously immigrants and they're obviously panicking simply because I walked past them with clothes on. Now we all can panic, but I mean these people are visibly shaken. I walked past them twice, just trying to find stuff in Home Goods, TJ Maxx Home Goods. And both times, same reaction. So they would interview those people. I mean, so again, I don't know if that's what they're seeing. Thank you, Larry. God bless you, sir. Thank you, sir. Where's that store? It's on the 25th. I know that's further north. I'll go another day. Now, I heal one of the Indian-owned stores. I haven't been in it in a while, so I'm getting a call to go there, but it's kind of the other direction right now. Like when I go to church, one day I'll have to stop in there and heal it. Yeah, okay. So kills keeps coming up. So like satanic kind of like wacko kill. So that came up, even though it's mill, but it's say kills spiritually. And I saw kills again. So oh look, it's a church of crime. Yeah, yeah. Well, you all do won't doesn't cut it. Jesus never gave you the authority to stop it. Well, what you do is you make it more fiscally responsible. That's what you did. Right. Well, you don't even have to trim the funds. You just have to simply do that, and then the funds will trim by itself, or you'll feed additional people. A nice yellow light. Are you changing the lights on me? It's trying to make me drive fast. See, that's how you make it drive fast. They give you a whole bunch of yellow lights, and then you'll speed up, and eventually they'll get sticks because they're willing you to speed anyway. Right. Not all cops, of course, but the ones I speak about would, especially if they're victimized. Anyway, I gotta go left. Well, yeah, they happen to be dark brown, not black, not Latino, but something like Bangladeshi or something. Thank you, Larry. And now that Trump lifted all that refugee stuff, they're fly all over the place. Right. Thanks, Larry. Well, if you just act naturally, they may not even notice you. But if your eyes get as big as saucers every time a ice person walks past you, they might question you. Correct. And again, this isn't like, oh, they just, because I've seen it a million times where people get whacked out about a blue line hat or my fanny pack. But I mean, this is visibly shaken. They're obviously immigrants. Well, because they're brown, the whole thing says they're immigrants. Thanks, Larry. Yeah, they could be bank thieves, but I don't think so. Or maybe they were trying. They could have been trying to shoplift, I guess. But it just, if I was ICE, I would have reasonable suspicion to say something. I don't think I'd have probable cause, but I'd have reasonable suspicion. Actually, I'd be dressed differently than one for my neighbor. I think it was a setup. I think the whole thing was a setup. But she's saying, "Look at you." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm wearing all black. Maybe I should change." Because we wear all when you get fat. Like I used to be real thin and stuff and buff and all that. So when you get heavier, you want to look thinner. You wear black, right? Even when you're buff, you wear black. So it makes you look better. But that's why I'm wearing these now. All right, let me get over here and make my turn. Keep blocking me from where I'm trying to go. I got up here, they had a lot of marble, but they don't have the marble they used to have. And now the marble that I buy, I can only get on like Amazon, and it's freaking expensive. Yeah, if I had my money, none of this would matter. And then I'd be able to travel and heal all the people while I was traveling. Even if I just had a wife, it would have been better because we could have traveled. It would have been great to have a wife. I never had really a real wife. I had a dependent. I mean, she cooked great. I got to admit, while she was well, she cooked great, but it was a lot. It was a lot to have her and take care of her and everything. Right? Even before she got in an accident. Right? But again, it all comes from that same thing that took my life down. Right? Like they went after it, and then nothing worked after that. Right? They went after us. Right? But then they thought they could split us, and they did. Let me think. What am I trying to get to? I guess I have to go this way. Actually, I'm going to go that way. Okay, whatever. I don't know if she's still alive now or not. I mean, she did smoke a whole lot. She was on a lot of medicine. Correct. As soon as she started talking about Slickster, visiting and all, calling and all this stuff, then that's when it all went wrong. Right. I'm here to talk to her about child support, and she's talking about Rick Henry. I'm like, what? He's a gangster. That's what the cops say. He was already investigated. Nobody's going to prosecute him, but he was a gangster his whole life. That's the inside. It was already investigated. That's why I never get in trouble, because I never investigate what everybody did to me and interfered with my family life. And interfered with my life after I left, after I didn't say anything. Right. It's already been investigated. That's the reality of it. It's just they're not going to be prosecuted. They'll go, well, why aren't they going to be prosecuted? What does that tell you? It tells us everything's corrupt, right? Right. Yeah, the officers are with me saying, right, tells us everything's corrupt. What he did is let me live my life. I'd have found a woman and settled down somewhere. That's the thing on Wayne Ritchie, that guy that he lost his job, didn't have a pension, but he had his wife. That was nice. At least he got to live his life with his wife. He did, Wayne Ritchie, I'm sure. Right. I didn't know anything about that when I started making the allegations, and then he pops up. I'm like, right. And then also the guy, the York Daily Record reporter, who talks about the talks about they hate honest cops. I'm just telling you, crooked cops hate honest cops, and they'll do you every time, right? It's a network. It's a criminal enterprise, right? I mean, that's just the basic idea. Just had to let me live my life. I'm going to be like a gazillionaire. I mean, it's easy to stop my life from being a gazillionaire. Just let me be a average person. Right? Y'all were in my life for decades before I ever said anything. I need to walk off. I told you, I said, I appreciate my health and I appreciate God, but I don't appreciate what you're all doing. And what you're doing is going to cause poor health. This is great. Oh, yellow light. Yellow light. Yellow light. I'm getting hungry and I'll get out. All right, let's go. They're moving Malibu. So I've always been part of the Seer Nation, but I was asleep. Right. I'm one of their kings. I've always been one of their kings. I didn't know anything. Right. If I'd have known stuff, if I'd been awake, they'd have been too afraid to do that to me. You know that, right? All right. All right. It's not one thing. It's just, again, if you apply that level of stress to somebody, they're going to degrade, and then you're going to be able to manipulate them a bit. Right. Again, CIA technology. Right. All right. So I just passed Benson, and it's not a road. It's Benson, and it says Stonegate, and it's not a gated community, but the seer inference is this: Benson's Benson Legg. He was a judge, federal judge. Stonegate, thinks about it, gated community. Right. Again, make sure everybody's in the gated communities that you can get in gated communities. Dropping my phone. You should strongly suggest that judges always move into gated community. It has to be a legitimate security thing. You could recommend, or you could do you could check the security outfit that secures it or whatever it is. But all judges, federal judges, should be encouraged to live in gated communities with a 24-hour security entity, a legitimate one, not just kind of a fly-by-night thing. Right? I mean, they don't have to have SWAT teams, but there should be like a patrol and a gate officer at least two officers patrolling gate. Right? Again, same thing for Congress people and everyone else, and families thereof. So what you do is you keep reminding the judges. So if they move, if maybe they don't want to move, again, many of them are rich enough to move anywhere they want. But if they move, they can keep that in the forefront of their mind. Kind of the same thing that Governor Cox was speaking about in Utah there. So they have that in the forefront of their mind. Then whenever, let me look into a gated community. Right? If I was a judge and I had money, I'd move in a gated community. Wouldn't care if I lost money. I just wouldn't care. It's just not worth it, right? It's just not worth it not to live in a gated community. Oh, you know the Indian people here. Hello, people from India and Pakistan. I'm here to buy spices. I don't move. He goes in my freaking parking spot. What a. He's got a Beamer too. Beamer X6, the one I should, right? Darn it! I'm gonna go in here and act like ice. Just kidding. But he did rudely take my parking spot while I was waiting to pull in. That does wear on people. See, really, Americans are ignorant because they don't give good people, the people from India, they give each other the up. Right. Oh, I from India pays you to take me out, you'll take me out, right? If an Indian person to take a person from India out, usually they don't do it, you see? All right. Stay peaceful, praise God, and all that you do, praise God.